Boy Army, welcome to another video. I hope for all of you who have been playing on EA Play that you've had good pack luck, or if you've not been opening packs that you've been enjoying the game. Please let me know in the comments below how you're finding the game. If you're new to the channel, I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel. The channel keeps growing, I really do appreciate the support. I'm trying to put out the best content for you guys to help you improve at the game. And one of the big aspects of improving at the game on FIFA is having a good team. And over the years, I've done a lot of coach with people. I've seen a lot of people using teams that just don't really have players that suit the game. I'll be honest, the game's still young, so we don't fully know who the best players are going to be, exactly what the meta will be. But based off what I'm seeing in the game, I've picked a list of players that I think are going to be really good value, are going to do really good at the start of the game for you. And I think they're all a pretty reasonable price for how good they are. And to help me go through this list, I've brought a special guest, Mr. Jambu. How are you doing, my good sir?
Very good, mate. It's time. FIFA's here. We're loving life.
How are you finding the game? First day of it so far, but you enjoying it?
Yeah, I've not played that many games because we have to rip through a lot of packs, don't we, as pros. But from the few games I have played, it seems alright. It's enjoyable so far. I know that can change, but we'll have to see. But first thoughts, positive.
Okay, well that's really good. Jambu, for any of you who don't know him, I'm sure most of you will, played for West Ham for, was it 3 years?
Over 3 years. Coming up to 4 years it was.
Yeah, good going, and made the semi-finals of the E-Premier League, one of the biggest e-sport tournaments that we have in FIFA. Jambu has his own YouTube channel. This video is going to be going live at 6. Every single day at 6 PM I'm putting out a video for you guys. Tactics, tutorials, formation, gameplay tips, meta players, all these. If you like the sound of that, want to get better at the game, my YouTube channel's a place for you. Every day at 6, get the notifications on. But Jambu, also you do pretty similar content, would that be correct?
Indeed, we're going for 7 PM uploads. The one tonight is going to be a defending tutorial, which a lot of people have asked for early because the defending, I don't know, I don't think it's too dissimilar, but people have been struggling a bit.
Is it more that the attacking AI is so much better?
Yeah, you have to make a few adjustments. So I'm going to do a tutorial on that. So if you guys are struggling and want to bolster the defence, be sure to check it out tonight.
Yeah, Jambu, top defender. Top bloke, so make sure you check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description below. My videos go live at 6, Jambu's at 7. Watch my video, have your dinner, get it down to you, watch Jambu's video, you're good as gold. But anyway, let's get into this video. So, we're starting with meta defenders. I'm going to do midfielders tomorrow and attackers the day after, the logical step. Keepers at the moment, I think, just go for the higher rated ones, that's pretty consistent. But with the defenders, we're starting in Serie A, I'm doing all the major leagues. We'll start at the bottom here with De Ligt. De Ligt at the moment is about 25 to 30k. You might think that's not that cheap at this point. And I agree, it's not really cheap, and there will be a few players in here that are at the more expensive end, but I wanted to give you a good range of players. And if you look at De Ligt's card, got great weak foot, he's pretty tall. It's pretty decent pace at this game considering the pace downgrade a lot of players have had. Very good all-around defender and physical, I'm sure you'd agree, Jamie.
Yeah, he's solid, good defender, decent on the ball, isn't he, for a centre-back, especially at this stage of the game.
With that weak foot and decent dribbling, that's really good. And he's got great links as well. Yeah,
great links. He's not going to be a weak point of your team if you have him in there.
No, first month or two of the game will do a good job. And 25-30k, I don't think you can really go wrong. When we get the icon SBCs later in the year, the type of player will still hold decent value at an 85. Skrinra, similar. Why is it showing me that? Skrinra, similar. Bit better defending than De Ligt, same weak foot. It's basically the same card, but a bit worse on the ball, a bit slower, and a bit better defending. So, pretty similar. But I think he's quite cheap, to be honest. Obviously, it's going to be a bit harder to link into a team, but very cheap at this point of the game. De Vrij, again, they're all the same height, same work rate, same weak foot. I think De Vrij's the worst of them all because of the physicals. But again, he's like £6,000. Like, at this point of the game, that'd be decent. I'm assuming you'd agree, Jambu.
Yeah, I think we saw it last year with Lenglet. Even though he wasn't the quickest, he early game had these high defensive stats,
Yeah.
and that sort of
It's that defensive awareness, isn't it? 88's
yeah,
really good at the start.
it made up for the lack of pace. So I feel like early game, these sort of players are going to do a really good job.
Yep, 100%. Rob McNally, similar position, very good on the ball, generally on the game. He had a 99 short passing scream card last year. Like I said, you're not getting the quickest ones here. We've got a few more quick ones coming up. Manolas, basically the Serie A Varane, similar pace, not great on the ball with that weak foot. I mean, his agility balancing too bad. The dribble's a bit low, but he's like 15 to 20k for a centre back with that much pace. There's not many in the game like that. And then all of these, I haven't got a fullback in here because there really wasn't much quality at fullback in this league. I think Cuadrado and Theo Hernandez will be decent at the start, but a lot of the quality in Serie A is at centre back. We'll just quickly go through these. Luis Felipe, he was a bit of a goat, his future star. Not last year, was it the year before? Or was it last year?
It was last year, wasn't it?
Maybe. He was really good, weren't
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
he? Yeah.
They definitely weren't FIFA 19. Yeah, it was last
Yeah,
year.
yeah. These are all just decent pace. I mean, Ku's not too quick, but solid physical. They're just all good all around. I think these guys will still be a bit better at the start just because they have such high defending. But Serie A, I don't think it's the best league. But if you like some of the players in there, you've got a few untradables maybe that'll go there. These are some decent defenders. Before we move on to the next team, I want to talk to you about the Patreon that me and Jambu run. If you've not seen it before, here's a website where you can sign up, get exclusive gameplay tips, tutorials from me and Jambu. There's lots of other perks and there's a link in the description below. It's called Underdog Gaming. We've run it for like 9 months now, Jambu?
Yeah, 9 months.
Incredible improvement among so many members. We have tournaments in there. There's lots of different perks across the different tiers. You can choose something that suits you. Anything you want to add to that, Jambu?
I think, the community that we have there alone, obviously you're going to be part of the Discord, so you've got so many other members in there just talking about FIFA, friendlies against each other, practice partners, just talking about the game. So the community alone's amazing. But then when you add on, the actual improvement you're going to get, we honestly think it's very good value and you'll all enjoy it.
Yeah, I saw someone in there yesterday. I didn't realise, I knew this person, I didn't realise they'd developed quite as much of that. They'd gone from Gold 2 to Elite 1 in like 3 months in the Patreon. So
I mean, yeah, sometimes you just need a little bit of help unlocking the potential.
best place to be if you want to improve. Check it out, boys. Okay, we're moving to the French League. Bernat, he's not great, but again, I mean, you'll probably agree with this, Jambu. Outside of the Prem and La Liga, there's not a lot of quality in most of these other leagues. We've lost a lot of good players, it seems.
Yeah, I think we were saying in general as well, in world football at the moment, there's like a bit of a lack of quality in the fullback areas. So that's sort of translated onto the game as well, it looks like.
Yeah, but that's not bad. I just think the physical lets him down a bit, but he connects to some very good PSG players. If you've tried to get Neymar and Mbappe in early, which me and Jambu would both recommend, we're getting them in our team, they're going to be so good early on in the game, and you just have to build a bit of a cheap team around them. Players like Bernat, Kimpembe, they're not going to be incredible, but they're going to be good enough at the start of the game to do a good job for you. Kimpembe actually does look pretty good though. Like, weak foot's not bad. He's tall. He's got okay pace. The defending awareness, bit of a letdown, but that physical's really good. Like, what do you think of Kimpembe, Jambu?
He looks solid. He'll definitely do a job. I think obviously a bit of a physical beast,
Yeah.
which could make up for a few lower stats in other areas. He looks solid. Not amazing, but good value.
Yeah, Lala, if you need a French right back, he's okay. He's not the one I'd go for, but he's like less than £1,000, and he's got a pretty all-round solid card. Florenzi, the fullback I would go for would be a Tal, we'll get to him. But Florenzi, he's been like this for a few years on FIFA, just very well-rounded.
Yep.
He's just got, if you like a fullback who can attack, he's very good. If you want to fit an Italian in. But I think this is one of the GOATs of last year's FIFA, and definitely, again, really good value. Yusuf Fatal, talk to me, Jambu, about this man on FIFA 20.
Well, I mean, obviously last year he was that good that he weren't being used in defensive positions. I actually had him up front at
Yeah,
some
yeah.
points in the year.
His
He
team of the season
was
was insane.
genuinely. I can't remember whether it was his team of the season or what was the one below, the
Shapeshifters.
shapeshifter.
That was
That
really
that
good.
was like not getting that far off being as good as
Eusebio.
the Eusebio.
Yeah.
Like he was very similar to Eusebio. Incredible.
He has a good body type in game for dribbling, it seems. And
Yeah, silky dribbling, weak foot. When he gets his boost, he's going to be also physically. He's just good at absolutely everything.
I would say potentially he might be the best value defender in the game right now.
Yeah,
He's rapid. That dribbling's solid at the moment. His defending not the best, but it's not awful. Physically okay. He can shoot. He can pass. And then you look and he's got 4-star, 5-star. What was his price? I think it was like a couple of grand. It might have been cheaper. Oh, it's gone up a bit. It has risen, but like 5-6 grand for that. Yeah, it's going to be about 5 grand, which
good value
that guy will last you a couple of months. Sa, solid, cheap. He won't cost you a lot at all. Just fullbacks, you can probably see a consistent theme. We're just looking for pretty good all-round players. You want okay physicals, decent pace, decent on the ball. Centre-back, Kera still has his weak foot. PSG, him and Kimpembe are probably going to cost you around 10 grand combined. He's decent pace. He's good on the ball. Like those are really good dribbling stats for someone with 5-star weak foot who's this cheap.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's going to be like Messi at centre back, but at this point in the game, that's decent dribbling, and he's got the weak foot to go with it. He's a bit weak. The strength is a letdown, but at the end of the day, he's stupidly cheap. So yeah, French League, I think some pretty good value in there. What do you fancy next, Jambu? We've got Prem, Bundesliga, or La Liga.
Oh, let's go for some of that German efficiency.
I think my favourite centre-back this year in terms... I've not used him, but like in terms of how he looks. Klosterman. Talk to me about this man, Jambu.
I mean, he's the one everyone's been talking about. I know, people were doing the videos before the game came out were like potential starter squads. This guy was in every one.
Crazy, man. Like I don't think I've seen a quicker centre-back, including icons.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
A lot of players got a pace downgrade this year.
Yeah, this guy is quicker than Sancho.
He's got the same pace as Ben Yedder.
Yeah.
And I feel like at centre-back, it's kind of easier to catch up anyway when you're trying to catch up with someone dribbling. So I genuinely think, like, I might be losing it here, but like I think this guy's going to be able to deal with Mbappe pace-wise at the start. I think he'll have or as good a chance as anyone.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, better chance than anyone else.
Yeah, he's rapid. His physicals, yes, they're not great, but they're not awful. And his defending's pretty good for an 80. That's decent defensive awareness. He's good on the ball. He's got okay weak foot. He's tall. He's going to be going for no more than 10 to 15 grand, I imagine, as well. Like, he's an absolute bargain, and early on, one of the best centre-backs in the game. Like, genuinely one of the best, outside of icons, because there's going to be plenty of like icons, but all the good icon centre-backs cost 500 grand plus, whereas this guy, 10 to 50 grand, you can't really go wrong. Dedrick Boyata, cheap, 1 grand. If you want someone really cheap, he just suits the game in terms of he's good physically, decent work rates, tall, not too slow, but I won't trust him long term. And Babu, I'm assuming you agree with this, Jambu, bit of a beast early on.
Yeah, he just seems to be a FIFA player, doesn't he? He just works.
It says he's 6 foot, but I think with that haircut, he's at least 6'3" on the game as well.
Yeah.
He's rapid. Those physicals are really solid for a fullback. He's got that defensive awareness isn't too bad, and he's okay on the ball as well. So early on, he'll do a good job. This guy's actually pretty solid. I think they downgraded him a bit this year. He used to be better on the ball. But yeah, he's a bit slow with that acceleration, but good sprint speed. Again, though, this guy's going to be like 1 or 2 grand. Decent on the ball, can pass. Solid defending, good physical. Mukiele, he had a really good team of the season last year. Yep. It's a shame he's not a centre-back. But Klosterman and him are the same club, so they get a strong link. You could put him at centre-back on 7 chem, I think.
Yeah, that if I was going to use him, that's what I'd do.
He's a bit bad on the ball to be a right-back, potentially. But he's that quick that if you put him at centre-back, I think with 7 Kemen still be fine. Russillion, this guy's been a beast for like maybe 3 or 4 years, would you say?
Yep.
He's really good, really solid player. He was like the backup to Mendy if people couldn't afford Mendy last year. Munier, a bit slow. Like, he does come with that caveat. He's a bit slow at right back. But then you look, and he's 6'3". He's got good weak foot. And yeah, he's a bit clunky on the ball. So, like, you might not like him. And you'd have to try him out. And he isn't that expensive, though. But there's not many fullbacks, is there, Jambu, who are this good across the board.
Be interesting to see what he'd be like at centre-back, you know.
True, yeah. Because he'd be fine on the ball at centre-back with that dribbling. He'd be decent pace. He's got good physicals. Yeah, like, it's worth trying stuff like this out at the beginning. I think the first week in League is going to be the 16th of October. So you've got 2 weeks to mess about and try some of these. And then Alphonso Davies. Why is he only an 81, Jumbo?
Pretty ludicrous considering there is an argument that he's the best left back in the world at the moment.
Yeah, I think the main argument that would go against him maybe is that he hasn't been doing it for long enough. But last season, probably weren't anyone who performed better.
No, he's an absolute joker.
But even though he's an 81, that 4-star, 96 pace, I don't think there's anyone quicker on the game. Great on the ball, solid defending and physical. I think he's probably the second best left back in the game outside of Icons. Yeah?
Yep.
And we're going to get to we're going to get to the best left back in the game. I don't think there'll be much disagreement on this. King Furland, where are you? There you go. Okay, like, what does this card not have?
He is literally, if you could create your FIFA fullback, yeah. This is him.
He has everything.
Yeah.
You're probably screaming at your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your console, whatever you watch this on, saying, but he's not cheap, Zell. And I'm going to tell you, for what he is, I actually think he's pretty reasonable price. Yes, I wouldn't be prioritising him if you've got a 100k team. That's why I've tried to give you a lot of different options across the board. I think he's like 80k right now. But you could genuinely use him today on the 2nd of October when this video goes live till the 1st of September 2021. He is that good. He was an 80 last year and people were using him in April, weren't they, Jambu? And he was fine.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a decent upgrade this year. And, like, he was insane last year. So a +3, there is no reason why you can't use this guy all year. And for me, that's why he's a reasonable price. And we've not even mentioned the fact he's a triple link to Varane. He's French, which is the best nation in the game. He's La Liga, he's Real Madrid. He is so easy to fit into teams and will literally last you the whole year. He is a good investment. And it'll take a few months till he even drops in value. So, yes, he's not cheap right now, but for what he is, I actually think he is. Like, how many positions can you get the best player in the game for less than 100k?
That may well be it, other than goalkeeper.
Yeah. Jimenez, similar to some of the Serie A ones, he's a little bit slow, so you might want to go for someone a bit quicker. Have to try him out, see what you think, but he's like 5k at the moment. And look at those physicals and defending. He's one of the...
He's going to be another one of them where, yes, he ain't that quick, but he's that good defensively at the start of the game. He's going to be able to hold his own. Exactly.
This guy, one of the best meta cheap defenders. He's probably in the top 5 value defenders in the game at the moment. He's like 20k, I think. He has everything, really. He's good on the ball. I think he has 4-star weak foot. Yeah, he's good on the ball. Quick. That's rapid, to be fair, at centre-back at this point.
Yeah.
The physicals are good. His defending's good across the board. Like, if you look, his only bad defending stats, heading accuracy, and it's probably... Well, it's not probably. It is the least important of them. Very good at the start. Definitely pick him up. This guy, he's a little bit slow. I think maybe if you put a shadow on him, can sort him out a bit. I'll be doing a ChemStars video next week. But he's probably one of the highest players in the game for total in-game stats. Have you seen those stats, Jamba?
Yeah, he's got something of everything. He seems like he'd be more suited to a centre midfielder or something, but...
Well, they gave him either a Footmas or Shapeshifter card last year that was a centre mid.
Yeah.
He might be a bit too slow out wide, especially when people stretching your team, but to me, on paper, he's a really good card. Bachike, 83 physical, very solid at fullback, pretty decent pace, good on the ball, just a very solid all-rounder. And again, what am I going to say you could do with this card, Jamba?
Go on.
Put him at centre-back.
Yes.
Look at that. He's rapid at centre-back. Like,
Yeah,
he'd
he'd be great.
Paulista, basically a worse version of Jimenez, might be a bit slow at this point, even now, but he looks pretty good all around. He's got the defending physical. Renan Lodi, this guy had an unreal Future Stars card. Very good. Brazilian. He's not that expensive right now. I think because of Mendy being in the league, I think that lowers his price more than it should.
Yeah.
And he's the type of guy who could last you a couple of months at left back. What on earth are they feeding Kappa?
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know.
He's got, I think, higher physical on his card than Van Dijk. He's not strong.
But
he hasn't got more strength, but like 88 physical. That's got to be one of the best in the game.
That is just there's something wrong there.
And it's not like the rest of the card's bad. Like
he's small.
Yeah, he's 5'9". Well, yeah, he's a tank, but he's decent on the ball. He's got good passing for an 81 right back. He's not slow. Okay defending. Like you could easily put Pachique at right centre back, Kappa at right back, and you've got a triple link as well. Like this Kappa's a bargain at this point. Militao, there was pros again using this guy last year for a long time. Like this guy, bit of an issue on his weak foot, but he's good on the ball. Other than that, him and Diego Carlos would be a great partnership for the first few months of the game, in my opinion. So
yeah,
absolute beast.
He's another Fifa player, isn't he?
There's just something about him last year, weren't there?
Yeah.
Koundé, this guy's pretty decent. He's basically a slight downgrade on Militao and Diego Carlos, I'd say. But if you want a cheap one, he looks good. He's a strong link as well to Carlos if you can't afford Militao. Hermoso, again, similar, quick, decent physical. If you can't afford Carlos and Militao right now, these are the two. Okay, we're getting to the big boys, the Premier League. Ooh, here we go. No, that's not the Premier League. That is my actual current team. I wasn't just flexing, boys, I promise. Okay, Joe Gomez. Does he warrant a place on this list, Jamba?
Yeah, he does. It's a tough one because he is expensive compared to the others. Yeah. But he is going to have the longevity that the others don't.
Exactly, like. And tell me, who does he link to?
Mr. Virgil van Dijk, Mr. Alisson, Mr. Robertson. There's so many good links.
Basically, he gets a strong link to any Liverpool players. He gets a triple link to Trent. Strong link to Kyle Walker. Triple link to Jordan Henderson. Like, there's so many good players that Gomez links to that makes him more valuable simply because of that. And out of all the centre backs in the game, he's one of the quickest. You're not going to get much quicker for a few months than Joe Gomez. His physicals are okay. His defending's very solid. He's one of the best centre-backs in the game on the ball at the start, with decent weak foot. The reason I recommend him, even though he's expensive right now, is because for what he is, I still think he's cheap, and he'll last you a long time. Anyone who looks expensive at this point, we're only putting them on the list because they will last you a long time and you'll get the value out of them. He might not be the first player you go for in your team if you've got a really cheap team, but he's definitely someone to save towards who is good value for what he is. Semedo, similar reasoning. He's not cheap right now compared to some of the other positions, but I wanted to give you options to build towards. And like I said, I've given you cheaper players so that you can put in if you can't afford this right now. Semedo, you could use him in April again. He's that good. He's like the Mendy of right back.
Yeah.
He isn't quite as good as Mendy because he doesn't have the weak foot and doesn't have the same strength. But if you look, he's got good skill moves. The weak foot freestyle's good. He's even quicker than Mendy. He's even better on the ball. That aggression as well is a really good one for a right back. Like Semedo was a beast last year, and he's got a level upgrade this year. So like Mendy and Semedo for me are probably going to be my fullbacks for the first few months of the game. And if I'm using them in a team when I've spent over $1,000 on the game, then they're definitely going to be good for a cheap team early on. Davinson Sanchez, just pretty decent all round. I don't think he'll be super cheap at the beginning because like when you look at the Prem players, they're all going to cost a bit more because the Prem just comes with an extra cost. But the Prem is the best league to build towards in terms of there's just more players to later on at the high end of it. Davinson Sanchez, though, what do you think of that card, Jumbo?
He was my draft-winning centre-back. Very solid he was.
Awesome. We
Done
might
the
be able
job
to see
for me.
clips of him at 7 tonight then.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks very good. Baye, similar to Davinson Sanchez, just a slight downgrade. Eric Baye always just seems to play well in the game. Nathan Ake, similar to the last two, but just a little bit weak, but a bit better on the ball. Kieran Tierney, quick, very good physical for a left back.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a player who plays quite well on FIFA. He's decent height, very decent value at this point of the game. Van Aanholt, similar to Tierney, just not quite as good physically. Tsimikas, the new Greek left back that Liverpool got. He ain't bad. He ain't a bad player. He's rapid, decent on the ball, good physicals. He's a couple of grand early on. He'll do your job. Tamori, see how quick he is?
Yeah.
He's a beast. 4-star weak foot as well. Like compared to a lot of the players we've looked at, he's one of the best on the ball as well, especially with that weak foot.
He is currently going for about 6,000 coins, I think.
Which is great value for that card. Like he isn't a high level and his defending stats show for that, but that pace makes up for that.
Yep.
And then the last one we've got DeAndre Yedlin. He's just rapid basically. If you just want someone really quick and okay on the ball at the start, he'll do you. He's super cheap. There we go. Thank you very much to Mr. Jambu for joining me on this video.
Thanks for having me on.
No, it's good. Make sure you go check out Jambu's channel. You can learn a lot from the guy. You'll probably see more of me and Jambu this year. We'll be doing videos together. We'll probably talk on calls a lot when we're streaming together. I'll be streaming when this video is on, so make sure you go check out my stream. Appreciate you all. Hope you enjoyed the start of FIFA. And stay tuned every day at 6 for more videos like this to help you improve at the game.